Hey, what is going on, guys? In today's video, I think we should have a conversation about how to be effective with aim assist in Fortnite Season 7. There's no way around it. Aim assist has been nerfed, but aim assist can still be crazy effective, as you're about to see.
Yeah, you get the hand cannon, I get the chest.
Hey, you get that? I'm looking for shots. Guy, corner tower.
Corner tower, yeah.
50.
Oh my god, no way.
So as you can see there, I'm still able to use L2. I can barely see them, but I can still get the snap-on effect. But it's not super reliable. In Season 5 and 6, you could go around spamming L2 as fast as you want. 10 times a second, you get 10 snap-on effects, right? Because every time you aim down sights and your crosshair is close to your enemy, you get an easy snap-on, and if you know how to do it at long range, that's almost a guaranteed hit with the AR, like 2 or 3 times a second, or hand cannon consistently hitting them, or at close range, you just, spam it very rapidly, and you just beam them super reliably. This season, there's a cooldown effect. I did previously make a video on this, but just to recap, basically the idea is, aim assist now has an arbitrary cooldown, where if you click L2 too many times, you will disable that snap effect. So it makes using that effect very unreliable, and a lot of times you're better off just aiming normally. So let's kind of talk about how to be effective with this aim assist nerf. Now, the first thing I've been considering is dropping your ADS sensitivity, because previously I recommended having a pretty high ADS sensitivity, because the idea is if you're constantly aiming in and out, you want your base sensitivity and your ADS to be fairly similar, because if you're aiming out so rapidly, you want it to feel consistent. But this season, without L2, you're going to be holding aim down sights a lot more. So consider going a little bit lower. Now, the one caveat to that is that with Season 8, I would be 95% sure we're going to go back to the old aim assist. So if you drop your sensitivity, you may have to raise it back up again. So something worth considering, but I don't outright say that's a good choice for everyone. Now, moving on from that, I kind of want to go through each weapon category and talk about the changes in the way you're going to use it. So starting out with like snipers and scoped weapons, you're going to use it the same way. Snipers, you can't really use aim assist because you need to lead that shot. And while yes, a scoped revolver can kind of use L2, it's very janky to try and use L2 with scopes because, you're scoping in, unscoping, it's very hard to do. It's just not something I particularly recommend. You can do it, but I wouldn't really use those guns for this purpose of trying to use L2. Scoped revolver, kind of, but really I wouldn't worry about it. What I want to talk about is the main categories. So that'd be your SMGs, your shotguns, ARs, and the hand cannon. Okay, starting out with the shotguns, the truth is aim assist wasn't that helpful with the shotguns to begin with. Yes, L2 snapping right before your shot is still effective, but it wasn't completely busted like the AR aim assist was. So overall, I don't think your shotgun aim will actually be that much different. I would still say with the pump shotgun, because it fires so slow, you can still very reliably pull that pump shotgun and aim down sights right before your shot and get a big damage. So it is still useful with the pump, but it wasn't the biggest deal to begin with. So not much change there. The tac, I'd argue, though, is more noticeable because with the tac, it fires fast enough to the point where you're very likely to get that L2 cooldown if you aim down sights before every shot. So with the tac, I really would say pretend L2 doesn't exist. Just use it normally because you're going to get the cooldown. It's just not reliable with the tac. So overall, shotguns, yeah, it's been slightly nerfed with this L2 nerf, but it's not the biggest deal because shotguns were not the type of gun that benefited the most. SMGs, though, they play a lot differently. Previously, I would spam L2 like 10 times a second with an SMG and have laser good aim. This season, that doesn't really work. If you try and aim in, aim out, aim in, you're just going to get the cooldown. And it's very hard to judge when that cooldown has expired. So I would recommend with the SMGs, just, pull out your gun, aim down sights once as normal, and just hold aim down sights. I wouldn't really recommend trying to use L2 in any real manner with the SMGs because it's just not reliable. You're just going to have to aim normally. It's frustrating because you can't use L2, but it's reality. So really with the SMGs, I would say kind of pretend aim assist doesn't exist. I mean, like the L2 type, because it's just not reliable enough to use. In terms of your ARs, it's kind of the same deal, except for I would say at range, you have, especially with the AK, if you L2 once, wait a while, and then L2 again, you can still get that very reliable snap. So while at close range, just like the SMGs, you basically just need to hold aim down sights. At long range, you can kind of still use L2. Because the AK fires slower, it works a bit better. Or if you're slow enough, maybe firing like once a second or a little slower than that, you can still get those guaranteed hits. So AR aim has taken a big hit, but it still can occasionally work. Finally, for the hand cannon is still very deadly because the hand cannon fires so slow that you very often won't get the aim assist cooldown. But you have to be very careful because if you accidentally tap L2 twice in a row, you're going to time it out. So you need to remember, tap it once per shot, and you're very likely to still get that insane snap effect. So to conclude, with aim assist, you basically need to have in your mind that you're going to purposely slow down the rate you L2. You cannot be rapidly spamming it. Is it still sometimes useful with the pump or the hand cannon or the AR at range? Absolutely. But you need to play in a way where you're thinking, okay, I'm going to slow down the rate at which I L2. If you try and L2 spam at rapid paces, in this season, it's simply not going to work. So, I hope this video helps you, and I'll catch you in the next one.